Hello children, today we are going to study chapter number 1 of class 12th accountancy, that is financial statements of not-for-profit organization. So the first concept is what is the meaning of not-for-profit organization or NPO. So these are the organization whose main objective is not to earn profit but to serve the society and its members. That is, these organizations are not allowed to earn profit, but yes, they can generate profit because profit is required for day-to-day operations. Whereas earning profit means that they are getting the profit and they are distributing that amongst its members, which is not allowed in an NPO. Next, funds received by the NPO. So these can be received from the donations or from subscriptions, membership fees or entrance fees, loans and government grants. If you see the financial statements of NPO, so the first one is receipts and payment account, which is actually a summary of cash transactions, and it is prepared on cash basis of accounting, which is equivalent to cash book. We record all the receipts on the debit side and all the payments are credited. And it also records item of both capital and revenue nature. So you can see the format of receipt and payment account where all the receipts are being debited and all the payments are being credited. And it starts from the opening balance of cash and bank and it ends with the closing balance of cash or bank. If we are having bank overdraft, then that balance will come on the debit side. Moving ahead with the important items, so the first one is legacy. So the amount received as donation by a NPO under the will of a deceased person is known as legacy. That is, when a person is on his deathbed, he asks his lawyer to make a will and to write there that he will be donating such and such amount of money to so and so organization, and that amount of donation is actually known as legacy. So these are done by those persons who do not have any legal successor, and also these can be either general or specific. Next item is subscription. So amount paid by the members periodically to keep the membership alive is known as subscriptions, and this is the main revenue producing activity for an NPO. Third item can be honorarium. So these are the amounts which are paid to those persons who provide their services voluntarily, and these are being paid to honor the profession of that person. So these are actually the token payment which is made, for example, payment made to a guest teacher. Next item can be endowment fund. So any donation with a condition that only the income earned from that investment of such fund will be used, the original donated amount will not get affected, is known as endowment fund. Second financial statement is income and expenditure account. So it is prepared to match the revenue receipts with the revenue expenditure to get the balancing figure, which can be surplus or deficit, and it is prepared on accrual basis of accounting where we record only the revenue items. Capital receipts and expenditures are not recorded. So if you see the difference and the way to identify the capital items and the revenue items, so capital items are of huge amounts, they are non-recurring in nature, and these are actually for this specific purpose and which are shown in the balance sheet. The receipts are shown in the liability side, expenditures are shown under the asset side of the balance sheet. If you see the revenue, these are of small amounts which are recurring in nature, and these are basically for general purpose and are shown under the income and expenditure account. The receipts are credited and expenditures are debited. So this is the format of income and expenditure account where you can see all the expenditures are debited and all the incomes are credited. And the balancing figure can be surplus or deficit depending upon which side is more or less. The third financial statement is balance sheet. It records only the item of capital nature, that is capital receipts and capital expenditure, and we all know that capital fund is always equals to total assets minus total liabilities. Now coming ahead with the concept of subscription. So when subscription received is given and we have to calculate the amount of subscription to be presented in the income and expenditure account, there can be 4 adjustments relating to it. We start with total subscription received during the year. To this we have to add outstanding at the end and advance in the beginning, and we have to subtract outstanding in the beginning and advance at the end. So we'll get the amount to be presented in the income and expenditure account. Let's understand this with the help of a question. So you can see, as per receipt and payment account for the year ended 31st March 2019, total subscription received is given 3 lakh, and additional information shows that outstanding in the beginning, that is 1st April 2018, is given 30,000, outstanding at the end is 40,000. Subscription received in advance as on 1st April 2018, that is advance in the beginning, is 10,000, and subscription received in advance as on 31st March 2019, that is advance at the end, is given 20,000. We have to ascertain the amount of income from subscription for the year 18-19. So just we will be putting all these informations in the adjustments, that is total subscription received is 3 lakh, outstanding at the end 40,000 and advance in the beginning 10,000, both are added, and outstanding in the beginning, that is 30,000, and advance at the end 20,000, these two are subtracted. So we get the income from subscription for the year 18-19 to be equals to 3 lakh. This can be presented in the form of subscription account also. So when we receive the subscription, the journal entry is bank account debit to subscription account, so it will be written on the credit side. All those items which were added are credited here. As you can see, advance in the beginning and outstanding at the end both are being credited, and advance at the end and outstanding in the beginning, these two were subtracted, so these are debited, and we are left with the balancing figure, which is written as to income and expenditure account, because this is a subscription which will be credited to income and expenditure account. One more item, that is subscription written off. This will also be credited because this decreases the amount which needs to be credited to income and expenditure account. So if you are getting the balancing figure on the debit side, anything which is decreasing this amount will be written on the credit side. Moving ahead with the next concept, that is calculation of amount of material consumed. So this can be calculated by using the formula, that is opening stock plus purchases of materials minus the closing stock of material. If purchases are not given, then we have to make this creditors for materials account, where we record all the effects and calculate the amount of purchases, which is the balancing figure. So again, to begin, when we make payment to creditors, the journal entry is creditors account debit to bank, so it will be written on the debit side. Then we have to add to it advance in the beginning and creditors at the end, so we have written it on the debit side only, and we have to subtract creditors in the beginning and advance at the end, so these are written on the credit side, and we get the balancing figure, which is the purchases, that is the materials purchased during the year. Next concept can be fund based accounting, where for the specific purpose, if funds are maintained, then how we have to record these in the books of account. So we'll understand with the help of an question. Here you can see prize fund is there, the amount is 80,000. Prize fund investment is also 80,000. Income from prize fund investment is 8,000, and prizes awarded are 6,000. So how to do the accounting of this? Since it is a specific fund, so it will be shown under the liability side of the balance sheet, where we'll show prize fund 80,000 in the inner column, All the incomes related to prize fund, that is income from investment of prize fund, that is 8,000 will be added, and prizes awarded being the expense relating to prize fund will be subtracted. So we get the final amount of 82,000, which is written in the outer column, and prize fund investment being a asset will be recorded in the asset side of the balance sheet. So these are the concepts relating to the chapter NPO. Thank you.